In terms of the bonus that corporate America received versus the crumbs that they are giving to workers to kind of put the schmooze on is so pathetic. It's so pathetic. We also have in the legislation direct payments, which were not in the Republican bill, to America's working families. I would like them been bigger, but they are significant, and they will be going out soon.
Well, in 2018, the $1,000 from the Trump tax cut were crumbs by the House Speaker. Obviously, in 2020, it's a different $600 from direct payments are said to be significant. But perhaps the biggest quote tonight that's getting attention from House Speaker Pelosi apparently was said over the past couple of days. This is from Politico, quoting the House Speaker about getting the president out of the White House. "I'm counting down the hours till he's gone," Pelosi told her leadership team as they strategized this weekend. Quote, "I plan to pull him out of there by his hair, his little hands, and his feet." Okay, back with the panel. Charlie, the House Speaker is got kind of a way with words, and she's obviously very happy about the direct payments this time.
Yeah, exactly. She's been at this a long time. She's been part of the government for a long time. She's been a leader in the government for a long time, and it's increasingly difficult to take her very seriously. I do think it's interesting, though, that politicians who try to imitate President Trump and his sort of Trumpian language and his way of sort of talking about his enemies. It usually doesn't work out very well, especially people who've spent their entire lives as politicians in political careers. And this new bill that she's so thrilled about, it's truly, truly remarkable to consider the degree to which the American people are held, once again, as hostages for a bill that is supposed to be a life and death sort of situation, where they managed to ram through billions and billions of dollars of unrelated things to pay off whoever, lobbyists or whoever, whatever favored interests they're trying to pay off. But if people want to go back to normal, this is back to normal, and Nancy Pelosi is the face of it.
AB, you don't have to be Senator Rand Paul, who, true to form, fights these things every time, Republican or Democratic administration, or the 6 senators who voted against this omnibus bill, to have a real problem with the process. It is pretty heinous that it gets all rolled into one thing and shoved down lawmakers' throats in a matter of hours, 5,600 pages.
Right, but Brett, how many government funding bills have you and I watched go through this very same process? Yeah. So there is no other process, and both sides are disappointed. The leaders who signed off on this compromise are trying to sell it to their own rank and file and their donors and their voters and the American people and the media as just, what we needed to do. But it's a very volatile time. House Democrats are still smarting from the fact that they're down to the closest margin for a House majority in 20 years or more. And there's a lot going on internally in both parties behind closed doors as they try to sort of push out this deal and hope that President Trump signs it. He's now listening to, Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk and all these people on the right, online conservatives, in quotes, who are saying that this is an abomination. And it's a very volatile time for Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi and anyone who wants to get this done with and to move on, also with the threat of the veto from the president for the defense bill.
Yeah, speaking of which, Senator McConnell, speaking about that, urging directly the president not to veto that defense legislation.
I hope the president will not veto this bill, which redoubles our commitment to modernization, advances cutting-edge capabilities, and equips our military with the tools and resources they need to compete with our great power adversaries on land, on sea, in the air, and in cyberspace.
Matthew, you think he signs both?
I'm not sure he's going to sign the NDAA, Brett. He's staked out a pretty tough position, the president has, threatening to veto this bill. But the Congress has the votes to override his veto, so it would be kind of a symbolic gesture on his part On Pelosi, though, I think it's important to note that a new poll came out just today with 56% of voters saying they would not like Pelosi to return as Speaker. They might not get their wish in January, but they certainly will in 2 years from now, after one last election where Republicans across the country can campaign against Nancy Pelosi.
And quickly, AB, they do have the votes on the veto override, right?
Well, it's interesting. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy has indicated he's not interested in voting against to override the president's veto, and Lindsey Graham, senator, is saying that he would support sustaining the veto. So I don't know what will change with the influence of Mitch McConnell in the days to come. But as I said, it's a volatile time on Capitol Hill in both parties.
A very volatile panel. Thank you very much. We'll watch it all. When we come back.